All right, it is time for S&D 500, where we look at the risers, and I don't want to say fallers, but we want to see some improvement. Where would we like to see some improvement in the league?
Yeah, there's a couple of different places that we could go. I think Montreal getting their first win over Brampton is huge, get that kind of monkey off the back, if you will. But I'm looking to Ahmed Hill because
my guy.
In the first 3 games, he's averaging 12.5 points, not shooting the ball very well. He went 5 of 24 on his first, in that first stretch. But then last night against Brampton, 19 points, 5 threes. So it feels like he is getting back to what we usually know from Ahmed. But I think that's the thing for me. It's like how they're able to facilitate his growth, his development, but also maybe get the ball moving, involve other players. That's the main thing with Montreal. It's like how are you gonna do that and then try to grow some of these other guys,
You know what? I noticed he got his braids tightened and it's still looking fresh.
Oh.
And you know the power of a haircut, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's what he needed. So Med, we see you, man. And I know we're gonna see you on Look It Up on Look It Up. It's called Fashion eventually. So shout out to Hill stepping up because the other guys on that team are starting to step it up too. So we're knowing like Francis is going to be one of the guys there as well.
For sure. Yeah. No, Montreal. I think getting that win against Brampton really is going to help them just kind of get that monkey off their back. The first one's the hardest, right?
Absolutely. So you're talking about players. How about a team?
Yeah. The team that I'm looking at is Calgary, still to get in the win column. But the one thing that pops out to me, I'll give you a stat. Okay. Who led the league in rebounding last year? Give me a.
If we're talking about Calgary, is it Simi?
It is Simi.
Yeah.
Okay. Who were the top 2 teams in rebounding last season?
Is Calgary one of them?
Calgary? Yes, Calgary is one of them.
I'm reading the tea leaves here.
Yeah. The other is Scarborough.
Okay.
So the 2 finalists ended up being the 2 teams that led the league in rebounding. Maybe that's a trend to watch for this season. Maybe not. This year, Calgary is tied for last in rebounds through their first 3 games, and they're allowing the 3rd most points in the league. Mm-hmm. So their defense isn't working out well. They're not rebounding the ball well. And I think that's led to them just like they're falling behind really quickly. And the 3-point shooting hasn't come along either. So that's why you're seeing these struggles. Am I worried? No, I think they can figure it out. I think defense is more of a continuity and chemistry thing, and if they're missing a couple of guys, once they get them back, it'll be good, but that's probably the one thing. There's not one player on Calgary averaging more than 7 rebounds a game, which
tough.
is just, it's hard.
And just to add to that, they're losing by an average of 17 points as well, so gotta close that gap if you want to win basketball games.
But they'll be Davion Warren. I think what he's done with Sask, for Edmonton, the way that he's been able to score and work in their system, and Jordan Baker has had such a great offensive system for them, running through their bigs, a lot of cutting, and an athlete like Davion Warren is just taking advantage of it. He is a hired gun of a scorer. Like, he can get a bucket whenever he wants, and that's why I think him and Copeland are sort of similar in the sense that these are new guys to the CEBL, new exciting names, but also like they can get a bucket. And sometimes in a league like this, if you can score, you're able to make a difference on your team. And that's clearly happening in Edmonton.
And Edmonton's been missing that guy since Xavier Moon, right? So maybe he'll fill that void.